I think,
Can I answer him?
well, we already had the,
2.5 years ago, we said the same thing you just said.
okay,
Mr.
we
Right.
already had, hold on.
Correct,
We already had the 3 minutes. We have to move on because we're allowed 3 minutes to speak in the public, and I think that we need to, move on because we'll address those items. It's just not a time to do back and forth discussion on it.
Can I just add something?
I think we should move on.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise we're going to get stuck on this, and it's not the appropriate time. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak for 3 minutes? Please come up to the podium and state your first and last name and address.
My name is John Ross. I live in Casarina, right down the street. My curiosity was piqued by item 9B, like boy. First of all, why it is there, but secondly, to make this board aware of the fact that this information is freely available from Palm Beach County by going to this link, clicking on the maps. You will see an aerial shot of all of Highland Beach, north to south, with each plot.
We need, if you could speak into the
The best
microphone.
I can. With each plot demarked in red, and if you then click on each plot, you will get the owner information, the date bought, the tax ID number, etc. Or you could go down to West Palm and ask them to develop the reports you're looking for. There's no reason for Highland Beach to spend 5 cents duplicating something that is absolutely the user-friendliest interface that I've seen, and you're talking to somebody whose career spanning 45 years has been in information technology. They've done a fine job of making it user-friendly, easy to use, and instantly available. And you'll be surprised who owns some of these plots. But often it's corporate ownership, and you'll be able to see that clearly when you go on here. I would suggest you start with yourselves. Look up where you live. If you're in a condo or a private house, well, I guess everybody here is a resident of Highland Beach. You'll be able to see who owns that, the year it was bought, the tax history, the exemptions, etc. Doing a report is trivial, which would include all of the addresses up and down those plots. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak at this designated time? Okay. Thank you. We'll close this time and move on to presentations. Looks like there's none. Are there any corrections to the minutes of December 9th, 2019? Hearing there's none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say yes? Yes. Any opposed say no? Thank you. Old business, discussion on 2020 Earth Day activity for the Spring Fling event. At the December 9th meeting, the board discussed various activities related to Earth Day. Included in your agenda packet is the list of items that I asked the clerk's office to email to you for your input. We need to select some activities today so that the town staff will have a clear idea of what items the board want to hand out at the upcoming Spring Fling event. Also, the clerk's office prepared a flyer for Earth Day that they would like to show us. Did everyone receive the list of items? I know Katarina did, and you had a comment about it, but I didn't hear about if anyone else got it and reviewed it, and any thoughts that we could,
Well, my thought about the toothbrushes, I think that's a very personal item, and people mostly have maybe their electrical toothbrushes, and to be honest with you, I think
I brought one too, so you
Yeah,
could see,
yeah, well-
like the packaging and stuff, just so you could see.
But when they are new, they
You
look
can
good. When they are new, they look, sorry. When they are new, they look great. I totally agree with you.
You can open it.
But when they are used, they started to look a little bit funny. And
I've been
thi-
using it for the first time now.
Yeah, but you know what it does here? It becomes black with the water, and it looks after a while a little bit funky. So I would not agree to spend money for that, because I also think that people have very personal ideas about their toothbrushes, and I do not know how much they cost, but I would rather go with something that is more neutral or easy, and I gave her a link. I have these constantly in my handbag. They don't take space, and I mean, I guess it is too late and it might be too expensive.
What is that for? What do you use that for?
Whenever I go and somebody wants to hand me a plastic bag in the grocery store, in the department store, I have my own bag. I never come home with a plastic bag. Absolutely never. So because I have these in my car, I have it in my handbag, and that should be and you can put it in your washing machine. So if you spoil it, you put it in your washing machine, and it doesn't take any space up. And they are not, I mean, these are not bad, but that is something that you have in your car.
Yeah,
You need-
that's what I use for my, like
Yeah,
the groceries.
Exactly.
and-
So,
and the
but
car,
this
all
is
of
something you put in your handbag,
Right.
and that is a different idea. So,
Those bags, go ahead.
I was going to say, I disagree with you on the toothbrush. I love this idea.
okay, well,
I love the bag idea, but I think the toothbrush can go in the bag as a handout.
Well, the way I thought of it's maybe like people are used to their certain habits, but maybe you can also encourage, like, isn't that what we want to do, is like encourage to change people's habits of using the plastic toothbrushes that if they use that. But I think that an electric one, if you use one that you use over and over and you're just replacing small parts on it, I mean, that's better than just using the plastic old school ones that you just throw away every
Okay,
few
even
months.
if you have an electric toothbrush, if you go on vacation, here's your traveling toothbrush. How much do these cost?
They're
Are they a
little-
lot?
they're a little-
Like-
they are
They're a
expensive.
little
Like-
pricey, but there's all different price ranges. I think that when they're individually wrapped like this, or they come individually, it's a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like when they just come bulk all together, it's.
Well, we can't do it has
We
to be
cannot
an
do
individual, because no one's going to want
I
an
know.
open
That's
toothbrush.
that's part of the.
So
price.
if these are affordable, I love this idea.
Well, I think we should start with something easier. And a toothbrush is already a next level of changing personal habits. But that is my personal
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. And what about the straws? Did we decide that?
The
The reusable straws?
we didn't decide. That's what we're doing
Okay,
today.
okay.
So we're kind of.
And so my question
I guess
is,
it's up
are
to
these
us
free?
since we're missing
Yes,
some people.
those recyclable bags, we would have to get more from FP&L and Waste Management. But yes, they give them to us.
Can they have, I didn't see it from that distance, but I know it says FPLL, but on the other side, could they put Highland Beach so that the people know that we've given it?
These are their bags. I can ask, but I'm not sure if they were customized it to say Highland Beach.
With their name, because you're advertising them.
Yeah, this is theirs. I can find out. I'll ask. It doesn't hurt to ask.
If not Highland Beach, if it could say, help keep the earth clean or some Earth Day slogan, I don't know if they'll agree to that, but.
I know we have these already in stock. We have these on, not in stock, but in our office. But I'll reach out to FPNL and Waste Management to find out if they could put something on the
I
back.
think I think it would be easier for an for a slogan that serves all communities instead of putting Highland Beach on. But I think they have them in bulk and maybe already,
Yeah, I don't
hanging
think they're
around
gonna
there.
Personalize them for us.
So-
yeah, I'm sure they will not do that.
Can I go
So-
back to the straws?
I have a question.
So,
The
so
bags, are we paying for them or they're donated by FPL?
they usually donate the bags.
So at that point, they're not going to put Highland
No.
Beach
No,
on it.
no.
So would you all like for me to ask, or do you?
I don't think that.
Well, you could put a slogan
we
on
all
it.
agree that we like the bag, we want
we
the
like the
bags.
bags.
Okay, so we want the bags, and
Okay.
their emblem is fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Is everybody
Yes,
in agreement?
If they're
Yes.
not gonna, we'll take them as they are. If they want to go above and beyond, that would be wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's. Okay, let's talk about the straws.
The straws are beautiful. We know that they're a little bit costly, but I think it might also be a little bit dangerous for the young kids because they'll be playing with them and it could go in their eye because they're these long
I
thin
agree.
things.
I don't like the metal straws at all. I
Yeah,
think they're not, I don't like them.
yeah. Well, and you know better.
They're just not safe.
Okay, so do we vote on the toothbrushes then?
Well, I would rather have the toothbrushes than the metal straws. If we were gonna go with the silicone straws that I know that you don't like, Diane, then I'd be more open to that. Because they have the silicone type straws.
Okay, I don't care about I like
But I
either
like
of
the
straws.
I think the toothbrush is a different,
I
new
like the toothbrushes a
idea.
lot.
It's a little bit different.
Different.
I mean, we have to, maybe I could research and find the best possible price we could get. I would be willing to do that with the individual wrapping, but I like that. I don't.
And we're educating.
Yes, I think it makes people think
People don't even know.
that a toothbrush is
Right.
made of plastic and
And we could even put a little bit of information, because a lot of what I'm seeing that like Four Oceans, those type of cleanup groups are finding is that a lot of plastic toothbrushes are found in their cleanups, a lot.
That's right.
There's pictures of piles of them, and so we need to, that is something
like
that needs
this
to
idea.
change.
So maybe we should make a list of what we agreed on.
Well, that's what I'm doing right here.
Exactly. I think we should make first a list on what we agreed. For example, I like the idea that we decorate our table with the debris from the ocean so that people who do not go to the ocean are aware.
Okay.
You
Well,
know,
let's do like one thing at a
Yes,
time so we stay
exactly,
organized. So
exactly.
we'll move on to that, because I have the list of
Yes,
our ideas
exactly.
here.
So let's go down the list.
Okay, so,
let's see the best price we can get on the toothbrushes.
okay, so is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
so- Okay. Okay, so toothbrushes, as a handout,
How big is the table?
best price.
Is it 6-footer or just
Yeah.
a?
No,
It is a
it's about 6 foot.
Okay, so let's see. We talked about the straws. Okay, the item number 1 though, but I don't see that we put, display trash from our own beach. Okay, so that's on the list. Let's just go down the list like we said. So number 1 was make residents aware of our board. Remember
Yes.
Steve had said that?
And that is here
on the flyer.
Is it on the flyer?
On the back side of the,
Oh, okay. Okay, this is great.
Can we also have, like, this blown up as a big poster, like in front of the table?
Yes, we could make that. The staff can make that.
Great.
You want like a
What does
banner?
everyone think
Would you
about
like a
that?
banner type in front of the table?
Whichever costs less.
Okay. We'll work.
Because it's
Yeah, I think a
only,
banner
you know,
would be
it's 50
nice.
years, so it's only, the banner would only be good for 1 year. year.
Yes.
Unless we then, paste over it for the following year.
It's like it's something that we can print out. It's not something that we have to purchase. We can
Okay.
print it
Okay.
on, yes.
Good.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement to have the
Flyer?
banner, the
ban-
banner and the flyer?
Yes.
Okay, okay, so,
So would you like, just for clarity, would you like the top part of that flyer as your banner on the table, in the front of the table, just the top part where it talks about, just that top part,
Yes.
help keep Highland Beach
Yes,
in the
exactly.
natural resource preserve?
Yes.
Yes.
And 50
Okay.
years, yes.
Okay, great.
okay. Okay, everyone's in agreement with that
Yes.
idea? Okay, great. Okay, we talked about the toothbrushes. Let's see here. Recycling data from town manager. We received that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
What was it that we wanted to, we wanted to provide that
I think
information?
it was just information.
Yes.
I think, I saw it, it's not very.
It's not very.
complex, you know, it's-
Exactly, it's not really a big, you know, if you throw that number out, the question is what would it change, or what would people take home with
Right,
that?
what would they take home
Yeah.
from that? What do you think? Like, much? You think it's like
No,
worth putting in?
No.
No. How about, what's
you know,
everybody else feel about that
I mean,
recycling
it
data?
is for us good to know, but,
Right,
you know.
right.
But.
But for like the public, like for
Yeah.
everybody, okay. I'm kind of agree with you on that. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's like,
Sounds good.
we don't need to put that in there. Okay, so we don't need to put that. Garbage statue to display at our booth.
Yes.
I don't know
I
how
don't
we
know
would
where we're
get
gonna
that.
find one.
Yeah.
Well, if we could just get a poster of that statue,
Okay.
and then you can make it like I thought this was a great idea. You can make a contest. It's like, you know, where's Waldo? You know, like, or a search. You know, can you find the toothbrush? Can you find this? The kids might have fun doing that.
But as a poster or like
Well, I
a
don't think we can
sheet
afford
of
to get.
paper? Like,
Oh,
or
I
like
thought
a-
if we could get a beautiful laminated, you know, picture of that statue, which I've never seen, but I'm led to believe it might be nice.
Well, it is a matter also of space. So if we have a banner on the table, and let's say we have a beautiful day with less wind, but if it is windy and we would put something up, then we would be already in trouble.
Well, that's
You know.
why it wouldn't just be paper. It would have to be like, you know, made of foam
Yeah,
board,
yeah.
something that's a little bit durable.
I understand. Mhm.
Put it right next to the table.
Yeah, it could be like behind us or on a stand.
Because then people come behind.
Well, wherever kids can
I
see
tell
it
you,
easily.
I was there last year, and all we get is about one parking space.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's not that much room.
It's not-
Just
it's
put a
not,
table in front, and the boxes with the merchandise behind,
Yes,
it's full.
it's full.
But if you put a poster up right next to our table, because otherwise kids are going to come to our table and what are they going to do?
Nothing.
And we could give them a toothbrush if they find the hidden trash.
I think, well, if you want to try to keep costs down, then you could probably just, you know, like as a prize, but instead of putting them in every single bag, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be a prize thing. I don't know. I think we should just give them.
Well, they have to get them anyway. It just makes it a little bit more fun
But
thinking
don't
that
we
they
have
won.
the seats? Don't we have
Yes.
still seats?
Yeah, we're gonna use the rest of those seats. We should.
Yes, we're going to use the seeds.
Good. I
Yes.
like the seeds.
Yeah.
How many packets of seeds did we hand out last year?
How many did we buy?
I think they bought 200. That package is 100, so we ordered one more package.
Okay.
So, and we ended up with a package, so
Oh.
we handed out 100.
So we don't need that many. Like, we don't need that many
Yeah.
toothbrushes.
Right.
We could get 100.
Right.
Although I think more people are going to want the toothbrushes than the seeds.
But when you run out, you run out.
They're not gonna know.
That's true.
Yeah.
They
Like,
want
and
it.
when you run out of,
Yeah.
you know, stuff to,
You just
you
run
just
out.
run out.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
All right.
So would we do it in the back from the FPL?
You can mix it, both FPL and waste management. You can mix them, alter them. So for the statute, you all want a statute
Here's a
of,
picture of like a fish. garbage
Supposedly
statute.
4Ocean has
That
a
one. I know
statute
there's
that's
different
made
ones.
of trash.
okay,
I don't think we can get that because I think you
No,
might
this
have to
is
make a
identical.
sizable donation. I don't
So-
know.
Was it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I reached out to 4Ocean, but I have not heard back from them.
That's not
I did. I left a message. so
Oh, I think the
haven't-
poster idea is not a bad idea. Oh, the four.
Yeah, no, if we
I-
could get the
I-
poster, if we could get a poster of that statue,
Okay.
Did you, I mean, do we want to do that? Have a poster? Or is that like,
I tried to
say
under,
no.
Somebody was saying a fish. Now you can show how much, like the article about the turtle, that they found
Oh.
so much in the turtle. So
but
we could get a
let,
picture of a turtle.
I mean, let me talk a little bit. So if we show a nice picture of an art piece made out of garbage, so what does that do? I rather show a picture of when they find a whale or a dolphin or a bird with a stomach full of garbage, because that explains that whatever you
Right.
throw away, or your stupid balloons that are picked up from birds, and they die because they have the balloons in their stomach. So that is for me a more kind of explain
I agree.
picture.
I agree.
I,
Yeah, I think it's better than, but also, we didn't want to make it like a gloomy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do not
Yeah.
know if that is the right. It's a spring fling. It is happy.
Maybe-
it is, you know.
Maybe something that can educate on like not using, because I don't use balloons anymore for my kids' parties.
Yes.
Um,
And there are anyhow you're not
But there's
allowed to do that. Yeah.
alternatives, maybe encourage it that way, like, hey, don't use balloons, here's our alternatives, something, instead of displaying it, that particular statue. I know it's kind of going off a little on something else,
Yes.
but, okay, so are we in agreement of not to do this statue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so not needed. Okay, how about the treasure hunt? What's that, the statues? I brought it up on my phone too. I saw it. We're done with that idea. Create a treasure hunt for kids. Okay, so we had talked about that. What are your thoughts? Who's going to be in charge of that activity?
And we do it in front of City Hall, so I really don't see where
I
could we
don't see how
hide
that would work
anything.
either.
Chairperson
I
Mirage?
think people are coming. They eat. You know, they're coming. They're going. I do not know. Do you think that is? I mean, I'm not in the treasure hunt business, so I have no idea how it would
Just-
work.
Just to make you all aware, in the 2019 Spring Fling, staff did have an egg hunt. Because Easter was so close to Spring Fling, we did have an egg hunt for the children, and they enjoyed it.
It was
There was enough
successful.
room, so we did have something.
How is Eastern?
Are you having
how is
something
Eastern
again?
this year?
It was earlier.
I think it's earlier. Yes, not as close.
Easter's the 10th.
Yes, not as close, so we didn't incorporate it. We didn't, but you could do something.
How did you guys do this? Where did you?
We put the eggs around like in the little shrubberies and trees and different things, or,
Was
they
that
would-
during the?
during the event. Yeah, people probably didn't realize it, but Rosalie was coordinating that. She did that. We stuffed eggs with some little candy and hit them, and the
Oh, I
kids
don't remember
enjoyed
doing
them.
that with my kids. But I was very busy with what I was doing.
Well, what would we have them hunt for?
Exactly.
I
That's
mean, what are they hunting for?
Not for a toothbrush.
No.
Seashells? I don't know. Starfish? Not plastic stuff.
I mean, that's what I was thinking
Like
of with the
prizes.
poster. it could be a treasure hunt with the poster, like can you find the trash in the poster? But other than that,
I
I
like
don't
that
know.
idea, though. That's something they could like, sit and circle or something. You know what I mean? Like on a
Yes,
piece of paper.
We could do it on a piece of paper.
They could
Find 5 things,
like
you know,
Where's
like a word
Waldo
search.
kind of
Yeah.
thing, and then they could
Yeah, but the whole
circle.
statue is made out of garbage, so you need to say.
Well, but the statue's made out of garbage, so you say, can you find 5 toothbrushes? Can you
Okay.
find 5 bottle caps? Or can you?
Or
probably
or
can't.
these particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of different things.
Right.
Like find the different
Right.
things.
I
We could easily print it up. Somebody look at it and list 5 things on it and say,
Yeah.
okay, have the kids find these.
yeah,
And then what do you give them as a prize?
a piece of candy.
We could, last year, do you mind?
Candy.
Last
Kids
year, we
love
had like
candy.
coloring books. We had little things that we did purchase and handed out. We did. And we could also find something educational related to recycling. Maybe I can reach out to
The recycling
Waste
color, that
Management
would
and
be
see if they have some children material coloring books or something of that nature.
Is that
to
for the prize? The pri- is
It
that
could be for the prize or just you hand it, yeah, it could be the prize. We'll have something else to go with the prize.
Well, definitely.
You know.
Candy would be good because kids love that. You know. Okay. So we want to do a hunt on a paper.
Yes, not a physical treasure.
That, and where would they do this? At our table?
You-
So they would swing by the table and do it there? Okay.
Now,
Is that
last year,
possible?
We could engage, I can ask Lois at the library if we could have a table off to the side, maybe next to your table for the children.
well, that's what we had last year.
Yes,
There was a children table next
Mm-hmm.
to our space.
yes, we could do that. I'll engage Lois, the library director.
Okay.
Great.
All right, so let's see how to, we're doing a page, a hunt page. What do you call that?
Do you want to call it I Spy? You know
Yeah,
how that
sure.
I Spy?
My- yeah,
And
my
they
son
just
loves
pick out the
I Spy, yeah.
different,
I Spy sheet from
Of-
garbage.
Of garbage statue.
Okay. Okay.
I Spy treasure.
Didn't we also display the right containers to take out and the wrong containers so that people are aware what they should, when they go to a restaurant and they see the wrong container, so that they are aware to ask them to maybe change their habits?
There's a lot of,
That has nothing to do with our town.
It has to do with the
Environment.
environment overall, so.
Basically,
No, but if you go into a restaurant and you go home with a styrofoam container and you come back to Highland Beach, that styrofoam container is in Highland Beach. So, I mean, we discussed it the other day. Yes, we should start with our restaurant here, and they don't do it. They still have plastic bags.
well, there's a number of things you could, there's a lot of things we could show people alternatives. Like we said, you know, like the toothbrush alternative, the balloon alternative, the container, a take-home container alternative. How do we want to present?
right on the thing.
Is there one thing, or is it all of them that we want to present? Alternatives to?
But I think the awareness should go, or should be that
I think we
people
should present them
see
all.
what is wrong and what should they complain about and what is the alternative.
I think we should do all of them
Well,
and show the alternatives. Because people need ideas more than just one thing. You know,
I mean,
maybe
if
three,
we
maybe three is
get-
enough.
Yeah.
Because if you overwhelm people, then they don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
But maybe three is good.
Here, that we could put outside, like, one of these dividers, that movable, you know, that you usually have breaking up different little sections of an office, and they're sliding walls, and we could,
Like put posters up?
pin
put the
things up.
posters there, and then show,
those
like, a
things
styrofoam no,
Yeah.
a paper yes.
I mean,
That ability.
we do not need
So
to,
that would be behind us, because we only have this size table.
Yes.
You
I,
all want to engage Ingrid? She's here to.
yes.
Oh, Ingrid, did you have something that you wanted to comment while she does that?
Just for the record, Ingrid Allen, I'm the new town planner. I was here at your last meeting. I just wanted to interject for a moment because I know you brought up the seeds and I see it's on your list here. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to listen to the town commission meeting yesterday, but there was a group called Community Green. They gave a very nice presentation about tree canopy in the town, so on and so forth. They've done a lot of outreach. And they also talked about doing tree giveaways. They've worked with many municipalities on doing tree giveaways. And this morning, I did speak with the town manager. He obviously knew that you all were having a meeting, and he wanted me to advise all of you that we could do a tree giveaway for the spring fling. There is money in the budget. He was thinking to possibly have about 20 trees. Obviously, a lot of residents here live in condominiums, so I don't know that everyone would be happy to take a tree home, but at least have maybe a minimum of 20 trees. It would be, I think, work very well with what you're trying to get out in the public. So again, having a tree giveaway, as I said, we could work that as a sort of an add to on your list here. And if you all want to consider that, I think would be, like I said, complementary to what you're trying to achieve.
I love that idea. What kind of trees are we talking about?
Now, as far as the type of trees, I didn't get that specific. I know when Community Green spoke yesterday at the meeting, they talked about how all their trees are native trees. So I don't know about the size of the trees, but I could get a little bit more detail on that. All I know is that we would be able to accommodate for the spring fling.
How do we decide on who wants
gets
a
them?
tree? Maybe we could put a,
Do a raffle?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good idea.
But not everybody can, I cannot take a tree home.
Well, then
You
you
know.
wouldn't enter the raffle.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but a raffle?
Or
Why don't they just make a list that has 20 lines of, hey, do you want a tree?
Let
A
somebody
real,
sign up. if they
yeah,
want a
sign up
tree.
for a tree if you want one.
Well, I don't think we're talking about,
Because if there's 20, there's
grown
10.
trees here.
No, they're like,
very
they're
small,
like, they're
so-
probably like this big.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're on the smaller side with the intent of growing, because we want people to take
Right.
them away. So you obviously can't walk
Are
away
they
with a
gonna be
huge
there?
tree.
Right.
It'll
Would
be
they
a
ha-
smaller.
Would they be at the event or get delivered to their home later?
To my
or-
understanding that they'll be at the event, so people
Yeah,
could
at the
take home the
event.
tree. It's actually a tree
Okay.
giveaway. So it would be in a small planter that wouldn't weigh too much.
With the company's information or their group's information?
Possibly some sort of flyer from Community Green. I think those details would have to be worked out.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, but it makes a nice,
It'll make
Display.
our booth look nice.
Yes.
And I'm sure, I think we should take as many trees as we can get.
Right, because the condos may want on their property.
I would take one. You would take one.
I don't have where to put a tree. I have
Put
Tyler.
it out front by the street. Just plant a
I
tree.
want a mango tree. Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you, and we'll,
We'll have to figure out how we give
you
it
don't like the
away.
list? You don't like
That's
the
fine. I don't care. I don't care.
What,
see how many trees they're willing to give us.
yeah, we'll take as many as we can get.
yes.
Okay, we'll take as many trees as they're
okay,
willing to give us.
I think
and
the
then we'll-
minimum told to me was at least 20. Let's see if we can get maybe a little bit more. If you all are open to accepting more, then I think that's great, and I'll let the town manager know.
And where do we put them?
Yeah, because the space is limited, so we have to be mindful of the
Yeah, that's
space.
true.
Or
'cause
maybe in the
If we get too
back.
many trees, and then
Yeah,
we're,
or under
what
the
if not
table.
everybody signs up, and then we have too many trees, I guess.
Yes.
And then what,
Exactly.
you two gonna take the trees? She already said she can't
No,
take
I
any.
will take a tree.
That's one.
I'll take
What if
two
there's
if I
10
have to,
left?
but I think people will want these trees.
Okay, so we'll see how many we can get, tree giveaway,
From Community Green.
okay. And then did we decide, like, the list is okay, or did the raffle, how did you guys want to do that? Because we gotta figure this out.
I think the list of people who can take a tree home,
Sign up list.
it might be limited. So why not putting a list out, and then people who are really interested get one?
Right, okay, sign up list, I agree. Is that okay? Is everybody okay with the, okay, so let's do the sign up list. Probably on our table,
On our table, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Okay, back to, that's number 9 on our list. Alternative examples, we kind of skipped over. And Linelda, was there something you wanted to show us?
Yes.
You all was talking about something at your booth. We put these out during Light Up the Holidays to display like the history. So we do have something to put on a board that we can print out if you all want.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. So
Yeah.
like a good alternative and a bad alternative, so that we can talk to people. If you go to a restaurant and they give you complaint to your favorite restaurant so that they change their habits.
So we have a few of these.
Yes.
So if you all want it, you would just have to let us know exactly what you want to display.
Okay, Katarina, I know this is, you've talked about it so much and you really want, so we definitely want to put the alternative to take-home,
Exactly.
restaurant take-home.
Yes.
Okay, alternative, okay, so restaurant take-home container alternative.
You know, I was at Delaware Sands yesterday for lunch, as a matter of fact, and my leftovers were given to me in a plastic container, not styrofoam this time, plastic, and a plastic bag, which is outrageous. And I'm going to try and call the. I did complain, but you don't.
Because they do have the, other restaurants use the
Cardboard.
cardboard
Yeah,
boxes.
they should.
Okay, okay.
I'll go in tomorrow, I'll open some up.
Yes.
Maybe more people.
I think if more people complain, they
If
might.
more people do that, yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll do the same
Okay.
as a resident
Okay.
and talk to the manager
Yes.
again. I'll send him, information and call him and
Okay.
tell him about the, just educate him on the cardboard box.
Absolutely.
Alternative minus bags, because they could probably save us by not providing the bags. You don't need the bags.
We don't
just
need a
the-
plastic bag and a
Yeah.
container.
Okay, so we'll do that on a personal
Okay.
quest. All right, so any other alternative examples? Did you want to do the balloon one, where instead of using balloons for your party?
What is the alternative?
Yeah, what is the alternative?
They have like paper, balloons you can stick on the walls, like instead of, it looks like a balloon and it's still festive, but it's paper. I don't know if that's a good alternative because it's like still, it's using paper.
But it's still showing a balloon.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They do have those though. But I don't, you could put flowers, like for a girl. They have like, different things you can stick on the walls, for parties. I don't have to think about that. You're right.
But we have a problem to display that.
But I thought we were talking about those things.
I think we put, Lanella, do I understand that we use that to put the alternatives of the good and bad containers?
Whatever you want to display.
Or was
on
that
board,
for
it's up to you, whatever you
the
want to display.
50-year, is that for the 50-year banner? or what was
No,
it?
that is for the
This is
for the
Oh.
two
container.
separate things
Okay,
behind us.
so this is for
Yeah.
the alternatives then,
Yeah.
just if that's
Yes.
covered. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, I don't know, I have to think about that party alternative, but I think it's good because there's a lot of parents that probably need alternatives to that, because people still use balloons a lot, and they shouldn't. I'll think about it, but maybe we'll just scratch that for now, if we can't, because we need to decide what we're doing.
Slowly, people are just going away from balloons totally.
Yeah, because it's
I
just
don't know. I
the
think if you have a
awareness.
little kid and you're having a birthday party, you're going to get balloons.
Maybe just put something, instead of like providing an alternative, if we can't think of something.
Just no balloons.
Yeah, no balloons. Just balloon
streamers
with an
instead of
X,
balloons.
with an
Yeah.
X through it. No balloons. Just don't use them.
Right.
They're no good.
Yeah.
Find something else.
Especially for an outdoor party.
Can we do that?
Yes.
I'd like to promote no balloons to parents. Okay, so balloon with an X.
Okay.
And there is a federal law that if you use, and I'm a little bit more than, I think, 12 or 20 balloons, you are violating a federal law.
So we could put something. Well, do we want to use scare tactics?
No, but
Okay.
just to let you know, and there is something also special for.
We could put a little bit of that knowledge, though. I was going to say, it's the law or something against it, but
Oh,
no,
we
we don't
could
have
do
to
it,
scare
did you
people.
know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Yeah.
Did you know how long it takes a water bottle to, well, it never really disintegrates?
Did you know it's
Stuff like that.
a federal law?
Yeah.
There's a limit. A federal. Okay. And anything else? Was there a third option that we wanted to, alternative we wanted to present, or is that it? Okay, I thought there was a third one. Oh, the toothbrushes that we're already giving
Yeah.
away, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so let's, okay, so we did the treasure hunt. Yeah, the I Spy, so that's I Spy. Okay. Display trash from our own beach. That's,
Well, how are we
was-
gonna do that?
I can bring something.
I mean,
can collect
I can go collect trash too,
I think
but,
that hits
and then what are we
home.
gonna
I
do
think
with
that
it?
hits home. That was your idea, Dario.
I know, but
like
I can
it.
collect trash before I go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you could really could. Like it's sad to say that we could actually all just walk out on our beach and pick up some trash and
That's it, in 10
Brent, there'd be
minutes.
plenty.
Well, that is done in no time.
But how do we wanna display it? What do we wanna do with it?
I would
think
really
this-
do it drastically and put it,
I just put on the table, and this is trash from our town sign, like a little sign. This is actual trash from our beach,
yes.
like a little sign, or not a big, like a good size.
But if we, wait a moment, if we put it on the table, it cannot be that much. So
Right,
it
it's
has to
gotta,
be in a
it's gotta be
container.
like, you know what I mean, like
but-
enough, like
but-
this.
And the question is, do we want to put that on the table? It is more something for the
Didn't we
ground.
say we were gonna get a
It would
side
have to
table?
be in a box, a shallow box.
Yes,
Maybe
or
that
in
It
a
needs
box.
to be contained
Yes,
somehow.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
Box, okay,
I
so a
agree.
box
I have a shallow box.
from our, okay, box with
So we
trash
all-
from our beach.
So we all bring something that day?
I'll bring a bag full
Yeah.
of trash.
Yes. It's no problem.
Okay, and then we just need a sign that says, this is trash from our.
Trash, Highland Beach, trash.
Okay. Okay. Information, okay, so information not to accept. Yeah, okay, so we covered that. Use remainder of last year seeds. 4Ocean, you said that you contacted them.
Yes, I contacted them, but I haven't heard back from them. I spoke to someone, but I
Okay,
haven't
so
heard back.
we're just not gonna do it because they're not even
I
responding
think they've
to us.
gotten big and,
They're just busy.
yeah, they're busy.
Maybe next year or something.
Yeah.
If we talk to them ahead of time, or they catch up or something with us. Okay, so,
There's signs that say 4Ocean, I think even at some point, I saw one of those signs in Highland Beach, but they're not gonna be cognizant of us. We don't let them.
well, yeah, I mean, if they want to talk to us, they can, they know where to find us, I guess. We tried to reach out. Okay, so that covers all those items on this list.
I think that's really good.
I
I think
do too.
we have some good ideas.
Okay, so, Linaldo, we'd like to, I took this down. If you need me to send you a copy of what I have, I can.
Yes, can
But
you?
this is everything that we have finalized,
Okay,
and we would like to do for
Okay.
this event.
okay,
Okay, so,
thank you.
Yeah, I think so too.
okay, am I able to do like a role or figure out who is actually going to be at this
You-
event this year?
You could ask them, you could ask who's going to.
Who's going to be able to help with all this stuff that we just figured out? Okay,
Yeah, I will.
okay. I will as well.
I will be out of town again.
That's your out of town.
You know,
time.
it's
spring break.
It's a yearly thing that we get invited to a judicial conference, and my son lives there, so I have to go.
Yeah, it kind of falls
But
around that.
I would love to. I I would love to be there. I really feel bad about it, but I would do, if
I'll
you
take
need any
pictures
help
for you.
organizing, just, you know where to find me.
Ahead of time, like,
Yeah, I can,
Okay.
I will get some trash and drop it off at your house.
okay. All righty, well, that will help.
Okay.
How about, Katarina, are you available?
Yes.
Okay, and then we don't,
You'll have to get in touch with them.
I will email Mr. Parks and Mr. Halpern to see if they are available.
Yes, please.
okay, well, it should, so far it's a good turnout, and we don't know, what could happen in between now and then, but, okay, great. Let's see here, is there anything else, that you all think that we need to cover for this, spring fling? Am I missing anything? Is there anything, that we might need to prepare for or discuss? That
We
you
need
can-
another meeting to solidify everything that we're doing.
No, this is solidifying it. This is what this meeting is for. So everything that we just talked about is what we're doing. So I think that we're good on that. Okay, all right, so we're gonna move on. Let's see.
You don't need to be before the spring fling?
We may, if there's something that we'd like to, that if there's an agenda item that you would like to add for a next meeting, then, you can certainly do that. But we're probably not, I don't think we're going to specifically be meeting on spring fling
I don't
events.
think it's
No.
necessary.
Yeah,
That's enough.
okay. So, moving on to item 8B. Recommendation on the natural resource threatened activities in Highland Beach. At the December 9th meeting, the board discussed the list of natural resources threatening activities in Highland Beach. We need to come up with a clear plan as to what we want to do as a board. Town Planner Allen, do you have any suggestions or ideas?
Okay, which item are you on?
8B.
Okay.
That's what I'm
I believe at the last meeting, wasn't there a list? I think it was,
We have an extra.
I think Mr. Halpern maybe? Let me just check back in my notes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
I
kind
mean,
of,
it's too bad that he's not here.
yeah, because I'm sure he would
Yeah.
have a lot to say about that. Recognition of natural resources.
This is also outlined
Yeah, exactly, it's in the draft. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, right, if you look at the draft minutes that are part of the packet that was routed to you, you'll see there was a few items here. It says here, each board member provided a list of threats as follows: trash on the beach erosion, vegetation on the ocean, invasive species on the beach, public ambivalence or lack of education.
I don't know, I kind of feel like we need Jack for this, this discussion. Is there a way that we could postpone this agenda item? Is that?
You could
all-
table it to another.
Yeah,
meeting.
I'd like to, I think, we need Jack for this, so could we table that?
You could take, it at the consensus of the board, you can table it to a date certain.
Let's table it to the next meeting.
Yeah, I think it's fine to table. I think there has to be, obviously, a little bit more substance to this agenda item.
I agree.
Threatened activities, is it, how do you do public outreach? Putting links on the town website. I think there's many directions you can go. This is a very broad topic.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe, since Mr. Halpern, I believe, gave a lot of the, or contribute, I should say, a lot to the listed items, maybe it's more appropriate to table it and have him kind of talk about what his vision was, but I think it is a broad topic and you can go in many different directions.
Okay, I believe that Is it okay with everybody? Like, is everybody in agreement with tabling this? Okay, if we could
Yes.
do that, Linelda, thank you. I know, but it's not something that we need to talk about until later, a later date, if it's, on that topic.
So it's consensus of the board to table this item until the next meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. New business discussion on recycling and conservation. And this is also an item that Member Halpern wanted to discuss. And honestly, because he brought it up, I don't know what he wanted to talk
can't
about.
imagine.
Discussion on recycling and conservation. Maybe that's part of the, that information that we received. So since he brought it up, we're just going to have to table this one too, as well. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay. We're all going to wait till the next meeting. Okay, item 9B, new business, recommendation on town staff compiling a list of property owners on the beach and researching and retrieving a copy of the deeds. At the December 9th meeting, the board asked the town manager if town staff or the town attorney could compile a list of property owners on the beach and also research and retrieve a copy of each deed. Now, the reason for this was because we wanted to find out from each property what they were required to do, from what I remember,
I
like
think
as
it
far
was-
as beach cleanup,
Yeah, I
as
think it
far
was more
as,
than anything else that we were trying to figure out how far their property, their lot extends to the beach or to the green line.
but didn't Steve say also within those deeds is what their responsibilities are for maintaining their property as well, like as far as like,
Deed doesn't
thought-
say that.
I don't think you need the deed for that.
There
That
was
should be
something.
Florida law, Florida statute, federal law.
If you
Whatever
own-
It might be, but it all depends where your lot ends. Just because you think you own the beach, if your
You-
deed
it's-
says
it- you-
your
you-
lot ends before.
The law
that,
is that you go up to the mean high tide
To the high water line.
watermark. Yeah, so that's standard through the whole coast.
Now, see, Stephen's a lawyer and he knew better than us
Well,
because he researched already.
I've researched this
The
quite
deeds.
often also, and I'm pretty sure it's not a definite line they have to the high watermark. The high tide watermark is where technically that's their property.
okay.
So the dunes, that's them. If they're not planted properly, that should be,
It's their responsibility.
it's their responsibility, and there should be some code enforcement that is checking that. That if you go down our path, Nev, and you see that first house to the left, the dune is not properly landscaped. Who is in charge of knocking on that person's door saying, your dune is not properly landscaped, what are you gonna do to fix it?
Well, that's why we need a town ordinance to set the rules. And then we have code enforcement.
Okay, so it says here, Mr. Parks explained a beach cooperative and mentioned that it suggests that the owners and the actual properties along the beach work in a cooperative manner or organize a cooperative association to facilitate the beach raking or at least give us cooperation in general to go on to their property. But hold on, there was a part, let's see, explain. Sorry about that, I just was trying to get to that point that he made.
Well, remember, the dunes and the beach raking are two different things.
Yeah, he said that.
Can I say something on this?
All right, because you had commented on it
John
earlier, this is
Ross.
an appropriate time.
John Ross, still at Casarina. All right, all the town's code and ordinances are available on the town's website. You can look up anything that they are required to do from the town. State law says that they own up until the mean high water mark. Okay, that is indeed a moving target. Okay, but there are statistics available from the county on what those are. And those are delineated on the website that I just gave you, which shows a box for each lot. And the easternmost line on that box is the mean high water mark is determined by the county appraisers. Property owners are taxed on their entire lot, okay? And that's what they use for tax purposes, so you can accept that as what it is. This was all reinforced in state law, I think 3 years ago, when a bill was introduced and passed and signed by the governor that allowed the construction of fences to delineate your property, okay? It's being held in abeyance by an environmental lawsuit that says the fences tend to box the sand, okay? So what you're really doing is the sand will pile up on one side of it and the other side will not have the same coverage, okay? Those responsibilities are all laid out in the town's charter and codes, which are available to you. And you can look them up this afternoon when you finish, and Linnell Dinner's staff and Tarisha, I'm sure, will be happy to show you where the link is to that.
Okay,
I
thank
believe
you.
it's the
but
upper
this
right-hand
is-
corner.
That what we need, here's what he said. Okay, Member Parks explained that we understand that we can get that information for free. It's what we do with that information is what we need to discuss.
There you go. So
Okay.
let's forget.
Right, so let me just read this for a second. Member Parks explained that there were two instances in Highland Beach where property owners thought they had rights they did not. The public has certain rights and responsibilities, and the beach owners only have a certain amount of access points. We say to the commission, you have a responsibility to enforce the public's right to clean the beach, and we can take steps and measures. We need to see the deeds or have someone review the deeds to what the easement says. There are protections in there. It might be less onerous. Mr. Park stated that if the board could make a community group, then they could get judges to assign adolescents to the beach cleanup. Discussion ensued about offering community service hours, offering the service hours through schools only, and hard labor.
Okay, so we could talk about that ad nauseum, but when you talk about easements, you're talking about how people on the west side of the beach get to the
We just want to
east-
clean
get
the
to
beach. What we're trying to do is figure out how we can clean the beach and allowed access to do so, and what is owned by someone where, and where those lines are, where, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what we're trying, we just want to clean the beaches up.
So,
And we're being,
just-
because everything's private.
So, yes, because it's not your responsibility, it's the property owners.
I know, so
Okay,
that's where.
so just wait, whatever they're allowed to do in their front lawn, which is not create a nuisance, they're not permitted to create a nuisance on the front of the property. They are required to keep that clean, not dump cars in it, et cetera, applies to the back of the property as well. Okay? So I think what you're running up against is that the town, me, as a property owner on the west side of A1A, or perhaps a single-family home on the west side, don't particularly want you to bring criminals in to clean my beach.
Well, that was.
Convicted criminals working off their sentence, okay? Regardless of their age, all right? What you want is for the Code Enforcement Board, which enforces the codes of the town, to enforce people maintaining their property in compliance with the codes,
Would be nice.
okay? So you have a counterpart.
Well, we need to do
Okay,
it.
you have a counterparty here that you should probably discuss this with, all right? So just as a suggestion to help move things along, you might invite somebody from the town attorney's office to clarify your legal questions, and somebody from the code enforcement board to clarify your enforcement questions. Then see if there are any gaps, okay? But to ask me as a taxpayer to clean your personal property, Your resistance on that, I mean, it's
But
just
see,
not
it's like, it's
politically
that
viable.
attitude too that doesn't get, it's like, I don't want to do it because it's not my property. It's like, it's the world.
No, I don't want to pay for it.
It's like the,
I don't
well,
want
maybe
to,
not
I don't
paying
want
for
to
it, but
pay
that we're
for
not
it.
talking about.
And the responsibility for doing it is clear. You can't violate the codes and ordinances of Highland Beach if
Okay.
you're a property owner. Just get your stuff enforced.
Okay, thank you.
If I can just add
I
to
wanna-
that. May I just
Yes,
add
please.
just to that? What I can do for your next meeting is look at the code, the town's code of ordinances, and see what provisions are in the code with regards to, again, your goal here is, or your intent is to have the beaches cleaned, right? You want property owners to clean the beach. That's
Yes.
the intent of this particular item, 9B. So let me look at the code and see what the code says about property owners keeping the beach clean.
That, as well as whatever public, like whatever space the public, like, or a community group can clean, don't we want to try to encourage like a community group cleanup in Highland Beach in the areas that are not the property? So we're simultaneously cleaning up both areas, the private areas as much as possible, and a, volunteer community group cleanup on the areas that are accessible to a community group.
Right, and that could be a goal of the board, but I think it's first important to know, what does the code say about
Exactly.
property owners on the beach?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Cleaning
Yep.
their
Yeah.
beachfront.
So-
So I think
Yeah.
that might be helpful it's a good starting point.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
then as
we've-
far as privacy and getting access, I think the town manager brought up some of those issues, some of those hurdles that you might have in doing beach cleanups and the issue of privacy. I think those are some hurdles, but first maybe the board seeing what the code first states about cleaning, if there are provisions. I think that might be a good start in providing you a
Yes.
good base.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that is a good start. We should get the
Okay, so
the
now that-
homeowners who are supposed to be cleaning their property. Let's start with them.
Okay, so we as a board would like to make a recommendation to town staff to research the code enforcement for the town of Highland Beach. Is that
The code
code.
on beach
the
cleanup.
code on beach, on the property? What is the wording that I'm
Yeah,
trying
just to
to?
clarify, so you have the code, right? And then you
Yes.
have a code enforcement that enforces what the code is.
Oh, okay, so we want
it's
to
the code of
research the
ordinances.
code
Yes.
of
We want the code,
ordinances.
yeah.
We want to know why code enforcement is not enforcing the code.
Okay,
But
we
that
need,
is the next
no, but
step.
that's not, no,
That is the
no,
next
no.
step.
Why not?
Linelda, I would like, as the board, we would like to recommend the town staff to research the code of ordinances to find out what homeowners are responsible for.
Received, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now, okay, let's do that. That was. Okay, I'll allow a few minutes, just if you could just speak, but please be brief, because we need to move on.
Hi, Doug Hillman.
Hi.
I-
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Let me try to help a little bit here.
Yeah, we're trying to stay organized as a group.
Yeah, I think you want town to research the codes as it relates to beaches
Yes.
and beach maintenance and cleanup, not code enforcement. Okay. Once you get that, I think you also want to identify those properties that are having difficulty keeping their property clean. As Member Parks suggested, we should then look at the deeds on those particular properties. No reason to look at all properties and research all the deeds, only those that are having the problem.
Right, okay.
Because it's probably a handful, it's the old 80-20 rule again. So if we can identify those properties, then I think we want staff to research the deeds. Once that's accomplished, then Member Parks, who's an attorney, can review that information to find out what access the town has or doesn't have. That then will let us know what code enforcement can and cannot do.
Okay.
Okay? Then separately, as you were suggesting,
First things first.
the advisory board might want to work on a town cleanup program for the portions of the beach that have resident access. And that might be an annual program, it might be a semi-annual program, whatever you want to develop it as. And that could be a great project for town residents. So that would be separate and apart from this
Right,
project.
right.
So that there's like Plan A and Plan B. Okay? Thank you.
Sounds good, thank you.
I would like to comment on that.
Okay.
And the main thing is yearly, semi-yearly, quarterly. It's way too long times in between.
I agree.
Because the tide brings in garbage, plastic, every day, twice a day. So at this point, I would say it would have to be at least on a weekly basis. And well, I tell you, I still say that we can afford money enough to put a couple of people on the beach weekly for 4 hours. Just do the math. We can do it. It's not going to bankrupt us. So that's all it is.
But if we,
The garbage comes up twice a day, and if we leave it there for 3 or 6 months just because we want to get the people involved, it's not going to work. The town has to do it.
Well, maybe the community event cleanups, though, will raise community awareness, get people
Exactly.
out there, and then, let's say we do it 4 times a year, or at least 3 or 4 times a year. At least people are out there doing it, seeing it for themselves, and then,
makes them more aware,
And
so that when
maybe
they're
then they
walking
do
on
it-
the beach, they'll pick up with,
and
they
maybe
never
there's,
even
could
thought
be,
of it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then maybe a change can happen where it's. Yeah, where, something, maybe as the residents get more aware, then we can encourage more of what you're saying, have
I
somebody
tell you.
on a salary that's doing
If you look at this,
better ideas.
this been there on our beach for years. This is chewed up plastic that's been there forever. And nobody's doing anything. Nobody's going to pick it up unless we send people out there to sift and pick this up. And if you don't know, there's the proof. 104 pieces of plastic in a dead turtle. That's the truth. So we got to do something. And now you're going to be the new mayor. I hope you do something about it.
Okay, so now that we've made our recommendation, I think that, is there anything, anyone else want to say anything? Susan, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. Moving on. Thank you. To C, item C, 9C, discussion on board communications, board webpage inclusion in the manager monthly letter, resident awareness of the board. At the December 9th meeting, I asked this item to be added to the agenda for discussion. So, I know that we talked a little bit about it, last meeting, about the board having a webpage. Linelda, is that still possible for us to have our own webpage? You said that you were revamping the website or something like that?
The town manager's office is revamping the website. There's already a page out there and it has the members.
Right.
It have information about the board, but I think the manager's office said they could create something or enhance the page with the new website.
Right, maybe,
Would it be part of the main webpage as a link or as a, would be,
Let me,
yeah.
Ingrid, are you aware?
because what, I'd like, maybe we could have a page, the page have more information on it if it's our own page. We could have like, like this example, a beach cleanup, like before and after picture, or like our alternatives. We could have the alternatives on that page, like things like that. Is that possible?
Well, as Linelda mentioned, there is already, a page for the
Right.
board.
But a more,
But are you talking about something on the main page of the town site? You don't want to?
no, not the main
Oh,
page,
okay.
like our own, like a link that goes off onto our own webpage where we have more environmental awareness type information as well as our, who we are and what our board is responsible for. But maybe some ideas for residents and additional information like that. Like things that that we're recommended for spring fling,
Okay,
like, just like things,
Yeah.
toothbrush alternative,
right. I don't
those-
think that's going to be a problem, and I will touch base with
ma-
Teresa.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think she's working
anything,
on
something
that.
that Dario showing, like pictures of trash off our beach, actual trash off our beach, like little, things, something like that.
Okay, well, maybe what you can do is send an email with some of your ideas that you would like to see on the page. And then you could send it to me, you could send it to Linelda, send it to both of us. And then I could talk with Teresa. I believe she is managing the website changes. I could talk to her and see how we can incorporate those links on your page. If that's what you're looking for, incorporate the information on the page.
Yeah, like, is there any way we could just like revamp our own page, like instead of just having it just,
I don't see why not.
okay,
Yeah.
plain, like a little bit more, just like more environmental,
Okay. I will talk to staff about that, and then at the next meeting, I could give you an update as
Okay,
to
and
what
now-
my discussion was.
Okay, and yeah, I don't mind emailing Linelda or yourself, and, and I encourage the other board members as well. I will be emailing Linelda, so I encourage you guys, if you have ideas for this webpage, to do so as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How about, let's see, inclusion in the manager monthly letter? Anybody have any ideas, like maybe, is it possible to, like if we're included in the are we currently included in the monthly letter already? I think there's just, I don't think so.
I know he's going to include about the flyer with spring fling, the Earth Day.
Right,
He'll
there was
include
like-
stuff like that, yes, in there. And I believe he puts in there about the advisory boards.
Okay.
Your
But like he
vacancies.
puts like what openings
Yes,
there are and
Yes.
stuff like that, but is there any way we could have a little bit more information? Like maybe every monthly letter, we could have like a awareness
yes, if
or
you have,
recommend, like a
Yes.
alternative.
yes, and I know he is encouraging like fun facts, so if you all
Right,
emailed
like-
something, a fun fact, a
Every
monthly
month.
fun fact to his office, he'll put it in his paper.
So that's a yes, we're able to do that. So
Yes.
can we recommend this? Is this a recommendation to the staff to include us, put our fun facts into the monthly
Sure.
manager letter? Okay, so
Yes.
is everyone in agreement that we'd like to include our board's information, like a fun fact or a alternative or something every month?
Now,
Okay.
will you all provide that every month?
I think,
Or
I don't
would you-
see any reason why we are not able to.
Or would you like for staff to?
No,
I mean, you
I
all
think
can-
we should provide it.
Okay, okay.
I think we should do it every month. I mean,
Sure.
isn't that what
Yes,
we're here for? To
Yeah.
contribute to this? I mean, if the staff members want to help us, you know, and there's like somebody, Tarisha maybe has like, you know, she's got like a environmental something that she's, you know, wants to share, then. Yeah, okay. So we just need to make sure, I'll try to help.
So should we send the email to you?
Yeah, because how do we funnel this information? Because I could stay on top of it, but I can make sure, do you want me to make sure and check with you every month that you've gotten at least one thing from our board
Yes,
members?
because we have to, we'll have to.
I can do that. I can set my calendar and check with you
That would be good.
once a month. Every month, So, okay, so we would like, as a board, to make a recommendation to town staff to be included in the manager's monthly email, monthly letter.
Yes.
With our input, whether it's a fun fact, awareness, alternatives. Okay. So, okay, so once a month, okay. Or monthly. Okay, and then we had here resident awareness of the board. I think we're kind of doing that already, which is in the spring fling.
Yes, that's a good little paragraph on the back there.
In I guess in the manager's letter and on our new web page. So is that you were gonna for the web page, I'm sorry, you were going to research that, or you were going to ask if we could have that done.
Yes, I will
Okay.
touch base with Tarisha. Like I said, I think she is the person who's managing any changes to the webpage. I mean, I can't see why that would be an issue. Those things are pretty easy to do.
How will we find out whether this, to what extent this is accepted? Like
mean,
what
the-
our limits are on it, if there's anything, we can't get too animated or something like that? Like how-
I could check with Tarisha again.
And then you
with
can
the
let Lenelda
technology
know to let us
available,
all
you
know.
could do, you know, really what your heart's desire.
Because if you check with her today, can you let us know like by tomorrow if so that we can start getting our ideas together?
Sure, I could
You-
reach out to the board. I could.
And then
send
you'll
you-
let Lenelda know, and she'll email us and say, hey, you've been approved to do this much with your website.
Okay, I don't know if it's going to be a quantity thing. I mean, I will definitely reach out to
Like
Tarisha
the
and see what
parameters
the
of what we
limitations
can
are.
do.
That's correct. I think giving you all some parameters, I mean, you know.
Because you can go crazy with
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
So,
I mean-
but the town might, just like they didn't want for Christmas, like too many large blow-up ornaments on the front. Maybe people don't want to see too much, get too crazy with the website, like too many videos or like what can we put and what can we, because we could put like, a whole documentary on there. I mean, you
Yeah.
can go so many places with it. you
Yeah, and I
know?
think you have to be mindful, right, of what you put on there, because, people tend to be very overloaded with data nowadays.
Right.
And so I think you do have to be mindful as to what you want to have on the page.
Right. So
You don't want to inundate people with too much information, and then the goal of the webpage is pretty much lost because it's just too much.
Right, so that's
yeah.
like, if you could like let us know what we can work with and just kind of, and we'll be mindful of
Okay, I can
not
reach out
over-
again to Tarisha to see what the parameters are, if there are any. I mean, maybe just you all letting us know what you want on there, and we'll see how much room is available. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider, but I'll be able to get you some more information on it.
Okay.
Chairperson Mirage, Teresha's here.
Oh, hi, Tricia.
I did. Good morning. Tarisha Cuevas, assistant to the town manager. So I believe the conversation is about the website. So currently, all the boards have a web page. So you have one on the website right now. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the style of the website.
I am.
But if you want to include documents, we can do that. Pictures, you can do that. Videos are limited at the moment, but any information that you want to put out, we can do that.
Now, is there a type of like theme that the town wants the boards to follow? Like you can put so many different colors and pictures and videos and anything's, like
It would stay
it's
consistent.
limitless.
It would
when
stay
you-
consistent with our theme that we have now. So right now, the theme is
Like professional, can it, because Disney's totally different than like.
correct. So we would stay with the
government.
current theme: professional. The colors are greens, blues, ocean theme. Those are the things that we like to capture in the website, coastal communities, things like that. But the page is already there. So if you're able to go out on the website right now under the Town Commission, if you hover over the government tab with Town Commission, there's a town boards link that pops up. You click on that. And there's a Natural Resource Preservation Advisory Board page. And the current members that are there, your term limits that are there, that information is included there. So we can expand on that page. So if you want to put a title Earth Day with some documents on there, you can do that. I think that's the best way to capture it because like Ingrid said, you don't want to inundate the
Right.
visitor with too much information.
But we'd at least like to stay, I think, aligned with, like, let's say the town manager has a fun fact of ours. We should probably, can we change that up every month and put like that fun fact on our page?
Sure,
even?
absolutely, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just to stay consistent, like things like that.
Absolutely. And just be mindful that the content is updated by staff. So I just want to bring that to
If
your
there's certain
attention.
times a year that things
Exactly.
are going
It would be
on,
probably-
it might not get changed at.
Correct. Or if we maybe want to be consistent with like a schedule, like maybe once a month you want to update it, or in concert with your meetings, when you have meetings, you want to update it because you'll talk about content together, then we can do that.
Okay.
But
So there's a lot we can do.
Absolutely.
But maintaining like a professional type town theme.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, okay, I guess that gives us a lot. So we know we're allowed to do this. We can expand on our page. We just need to provide the content. And how exactly who do we provide that content to? Is that directly to you?
Directly to me, yes.
Okay.
So when you form your ideas, Chairperson Mirage, since you are the chair of the board, I think it would be best to kind of streamline it through you. If you have ideas, or if other of the board members, I guess if anyone wants to, I don't know how you want to do it,
Well,
what's the
I think
best?
everybody needs to communicate through Linelda, or actually.
Exactly, we cannot
We can't communicate,
Yeah,
right, I
so
just thought
we-
about
no,
that.
So we'll communicate all our ideas, and then she would probably just let everybody know with an email, an easy email, like, hey, this is what we have maybe this month. If there's any new ideas or something like that, and then we can kind of
If I may, I think it may be best to do
have to
it
figure that out.
during your meeting. During your meeting, you all come to a consensus of what you want to include on the webpage, and then we go from there, because
Okay.
everyone can talk at the same time, and you can make the decision together,
Yeah.
rather than having all of the different ideas come at sporadic
Yeah, because
moments.
then we might like inundate her with.
Exactly,
all
and then we
our-
just don't want anything to get lost in communication. If somebody wants something and someone else doesn't, want to make sure that it's a board decision.
Yeah, and, we're supposed to be able to, we should be able to have the meetings for ideas like that, and I know that we've been wanting to have meetings more. often.
It should be always a point on our agenda, ideas for the webpage.
Yes, yes, we'll put an item on there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Permanent item on the agenda.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Does
Absolutely, and I'm
anybody
here to
have
help in
other-
any way. If anyone has any questions, you can always reach out to me, and I'm here to help.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. So that answered a lot. So we'll, these are things to think about, and I think we should include it, as soon as possible. Probably even add, maybe even add already to the webpage our what we finalized for Spring Fling. How about your container example? Maybe
Yes.
something.
And our flyer. The flyer, yes.
Yeah. Yep. So we can
Yeah.
move on that. So I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that already to add to our webpage?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so we want to do the flyer. We want to go ahead and start and put our flyer, and then in the container awareness alternative. Okay. So we'll work on that. That would just go directly to Tricia, that information. How will that filter? So we've decided on 2 things for the webpage already.
I'll make sure she gets it. Because it's something you all are doing in the meeting, I'll then in turn communicate with Teresa
Okay.
and Ingrid.
So we want to have our flyer
Yes.
on our webpage and the containers, the take-home containers, alternatives for restaurants, like restaurant take-home container alternatives. And
So
also,
for clarity,
actually-
are you saying just some language regarding the alternatives for the restaurants, take-home containers?
No, I think we should
Or
have a
a
picture,
picture?
Yes.
That's what I need to
a
know.
photo
A photo, okay.
of the alternatives. And the alternative is actually the cardboard
Yes.
box.
Right.
The alternative. So no to plastic and styrofoam.
Then check mark yes.
And then, check mark yes for cardboard box. Are you
Okay,
getting that?
yeah, we got it.
Okay.
We'll work it out.
Can I segue from?
One sec, let me just hold that thought. Can we also? I would like to also add that to, since we're already doing it, we might as well put that on the next town manager's
Letter.
email.
Yes.
We would like to also have these alternatives put on the town manager's letter from our board.
So it'll be, what's on the website will be consistent with what's in the manager's minutes?
Correct.
Okay.
And can we have a link to our website on the town manager's letter? Like
Yes.
our web page?
Yes,
We would like that as well.
Teresa's here.
Sorry, I just want to ask a point of clarification, if I may. When you say the alternatives, you want that included, is there already a document that you have, or do you want?
I do not have it, but our idea is we would like, the alternative is the box, the cardboard, they have like cardboard box
Yes,
containers.
yes.
And then the no is the styrofoam and the plastic ones. So
Okay.
kind of like maybe like a X, like no or no, X.
Is there?
And then styrofoam or cardboard box, yes.
Okay, I understand. I'm just trying to think.
And we'd
If
like
there's
a-
something that I can find on the like the web that documents that, would that be sufficient?
Yes.
Okay, I can
Because that's what
definitely
I
do
would
that.
do. I would just look in my phone and then.
Yes,
send it, you
I
know
can
what
definitely do that. So the flyer, we have the alternatives for the take-home styrofoam containers, and included in the manager's minutes, that's going to come out on January 17th, the flyer, the link to the Natural Resource Preservation webpage, and then some information. I'll make sure to capture everything that's kind of been talked about during the meeting, and a little article to put in the manager's minute.
Perfect.
Great? Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so that's our commitment, and then resident awareness, okay, so, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan, yes.
To segue from being on the webpage and all of that, with Coastal Star, maybe we could, because you gotta do it in advance, do this for the coast, put an ad in for the Coastal Star.
Okay, so Coastal Star that's definitely a communication. I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on that. What is everyone's thoughts?
I thought we discussed at the last meeting that Coastal Star will be advertising Spring Fling.
Is that correct, Linelda? Coastal Star is advertising Spring Fling?
We will put an ad in the paper.
You are putting an ad in the paper?
We can. I have to get a price on how much it costs, but yes, we can. You want that flyer, the entire flyer?
Well, no,
No, you don't.
but hold on. No, our question is, are they advertising Spring Fling, or is it like the whole event?
What you all wanted to do, at the last meeting, you all stated you wanted to advertise in the paper to make people aware of your board.
Right, that's two separate
So,
things. So
right.
advertising
we're
Spring
not
Fling or our
advertising.
board.
You all didn't say you wanted to advertise Spring Fling or Earth Day. We don't normally advertise, but
Okay,
if
so
you
they're
want to
not,
advertise.
they're not advertising the Spring Fling event in the Coastal Star.
No.
So there's no plans for that.
But-
If
No,
we wanted to
but if it's
advertise our
something-
board, that's something that we'd have to recommend.
Right, correct.
My question is, since there is an article about Highland Beach every month in the Star, couldn't we get the reporter in here and write up an article instead of advertising? I mean, they gotta fill out their paper with something.
We would
And
have
this is
to,
a
he
good
could,
thing to do.
yes, and I believe that he could come in and interview the chairperson or a board member. If you all wanted to add in the paper, he would.
Right.
Yes, he could do something of that
Get a
nature.
nice article.
So how do we go about
But
getting the
what-
star to interview Nev?
We can reach out to him. She want to be interviewed or any of,
But what topic, but if you're gonna put it, what are we,
Well, we're gonna have Earth Day.
so we're talking
and
about
we're
Earth
gonna
Day,
talk
or
about Earth Day,
sprinkling.
yes.
Okay, sprinkling and Earth Day, like kind of
And
thing,
the general existence
of our board.
of our board.
And come visit us
So three things.
on April 22nd.
So sprinkling,
to learn
Earth
more
Day, and
about
our
us.
board.
Yes.
And learn more about us. Is
So
there
you got-
a way that we could encourage this type of article to be written about Highland Beach, in the Highland Beach section of the Coastal Star?
he as a reporter will have certain key questions that he'll ask you and compile the article. He's very good. It's Rich Pollack.
Okay, so
He's
that's,
very
that's what we would,
experienced.
okay, so we'd like to,
I will reach out to him after the meeting.
and if you could let him know that's kind of, that's what we wanted, that, those were the three topics that we
Well,
wanted to
well-
cover, is spring, if he's interested in the Sprinkling Earth Day and our natural, our board.
What normally happens, I'll reach out to him after the meeting, and I know they have to have their ads in as soon as possible to display in the February, to print in the February's newspaper.
I think we want it for the March, so that people will be aware of it.
Okay, we can, okay, you have time, so,
Okay, so is that a recommendation that we need to make, or?
if you, yeah, sure.
Okay, is everyone okay with
Yes.
those topics
Yes.
being covered in this article being, okay, so our recommendation to the town staff is to contact the Coastal Star and request an article if they're interested for the topics of Spring Fling, Earth Day, and the Natural Resources Preservation Advisory Board.
Okay, so may I just kind of tweak that to say the town staff will contact the Coastal Star reporter to interview
Reporter.
the chairperson?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, could you
and all of
tweak
that.
Do
I will
need to-
tweak that. I'll include it all in the
Please
minutes.
do.
Thank you.
Okay. Susan, was there anything else that you wanted to add to that? Okay, so that's the Coastal Star. So I believe that unless anyone has anything to add, that concludes the communications discussion. Item 9D, discussion on future meetings. We are here to discuss future meeting dates. Is there anything that we wanted to talk about regarding future meeting dates? I know, I thought I had to leave early last meeting, and I know that you had continued on the conversation. I didn't get to, I put that actually on the agenda, which was the dates of the meetings, but I wasn't here for it. But I think it went well. Does anybody, it's basically, we need to have agenda items to have a meeting.
Well, I
It
do
can't
have
just
some,
be-
I do
and if
have
anybody-
something for an agenda for the next meeting,
Okay,
whenever that may be.
So,
so,
I want to discuss the, putting buckets on the beach, like in Boca is doing. You would have a, some kind of a pole with buckets, so that instead of bringing plastic bags to the beach to pick up the trash, you would use this bucket, and then you bring the bucket back, and there's a garbage can, and you empty the trash into the garbage. And I also want on the agenda for the next meeting, we need to do one thing at a time?
yes.
Okay.
So there will be an item on the future meeting agenda, discussion regarding placing buckets on the beach for trash cleanup.
Yes, and apparently Boca Raton has already approved this, the Community Coastal Cleanup Program at Red Reef, Spanish River, and South Beach Parks.
Who's picking it up? The lifeguards?
No, no, no.
It's available.
If you walk on the beach, instead of bringing a plastic bag, you're using a bucket. The same people that empty the garbage pails that are on the beach now.
There, but we don't have any garbage pails on our beach.
We have a
But we
few.
have cans
Well, there
Yeah.
should be some.
From the building.
No, also from.
in the town.
We could use more.
That's a problem.
I
with
know,
access.
I know.
Okay, so your next item for the upcoming meeting?
My other item would be, I understand people not wanting to have people with criminal records cleaning up the beach, but kids in high school nowadays have to do a certain number of community service hours. And I don't see why we wouldn't be using them to clean the beach. What kid wouldn't want to do that for community service hours? That's free labor.
I think that's gonna, we have something to do before that, we get to that point. We have to, research the,
Yeah, but let's start the talk. Let's start the discussion. I mean, we're
okay,
not cleaning the beaches.
okay.
So I don't know what we have to do. I get that would be up to the commission, but let's bring this idea to the commission that let's look into getting community service hours being used on cleaning up the beach.
So just to make you all aware, I know that was part of that list that we tabled until Jack come back. They did have that on there.
Okay,
So
fine, then
that will be
that's perfect.
discussed.
Perfect.
Yes, so
that's-
it's
gonna be
already on the
there.
list.
Okay, it's already on there.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, we're still on the topic of the future meeting dates. I know that we have every quarter,
We should.
we should be having
Yes.
meetings, and I know last year it was,
It didn't happen.
no, and even earlier in the year, we had said
Yeah.
that we wanted to have monthly meetings, but that didn't
Well-
happen.
Well, quarterly will be enough.
Quarterly would be a good start.
Yeah, so now that we're talking about it more, it
So-
wasn't realistic to have the monthly meetings.
No, I don't think so.
But I think we should do better than
Than-
last
yeah,
year,
exactly.
than 2019, as far as our meetings. So
Yeah.
we should just really be sticking to
Yeah.
our quarterly meetings
Yes.
and,
So that means.
So
it
when
would-
is our-
It would be after spring fling in somehow in April. Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
April
In-
22. Yeah.
No, that is Earth Day.
Earth Day's the
Spring fling
22nd.
is in March.
Yeah. Yeah, so April.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before Earth Day.
Well,
It doesn't
Earth Day
matter.
has
Doesn't matter.
nothing. When
Yeah.
the spring fling is over, then.
Yeah,
you
spring
know,
fling is just, yeah, it would, so, okay, so
Yeah.
we'll call a meeting.
Yeah.
Can I do that today? Or request it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
I mean, April meeting, whenever the
April-
schedule
Now,
will
the-
allow
the-
it.
Yes.
We'd like to, or I'd like to, call a meeting in April if possible, for our next quarterly meeting.
April would be perfect. I would canvass the board. You all have a date in mind? I'm sorry. Or do you want me to canvass you all?
Can I suggest before Easter Passover?
What is that date? Do you have
That's
it?
the 8th and 10th. So if you wanted to do it
Or
either,
after the holidays.
so after like,
After the 8th or 10th.
Yeah, like
It's
in the
after the
mid- like in
10th.
the middle of April.
Yeah, like
well, that's when some kids are off also. So I
mean,
guess you'd
that
have to
doesn't-
skip the week to go like this 18th or 19th.
I mean, we could do it on, what, the 15th? Like, what's
That's during Passover.
that the 15th is? Passover?
I think it's still, let's see if it starts,
I don't.
starts the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Yeah, it's still
When is it over?
16th. After the 16th.
All right, so either the first week, like the week of the, first, second, or third, or the 17th,
Second
which is
half.
a Friday,
Second half.
yeah, or the second half.
So we'll,
We just don't want to do it between, what'd you say, the 8th and the 16th?
Good Friday is Friday the 10th, Easter is the 12th, Easter Monday.
So just not between the 8th
Orthodox Easter is.
and the 16th.
so can you all pick a date and I'll just look and see if we have, because I have the dates for the other advisory board meeting.
The 20th, Tuesday,
20th is a Monday.
April.
20th is Monday.
Is there a
The
day,
20th is fine.
Leonardo, is there a day you
The
would
20th
prefer?
fine? Can you do
20th
20th at the same time, 10 a.m.?
We could. Let me
20th at
just make
10
sure we have nothing else, but normally we don't have any other advisory board meetings on a Monday. We don't.
Okay.
So April 20th at 10?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We don't want to make it at 11?
No.
No.
I mean, this is what time we started today.
Because
It's a
it
good
look-
time.
But it is marked.
After traffic.
Miss my class.
So April,
Okay.
Monday, April 20th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Got it. And we will put those items that you all are talking about on the agenda, and we'll make it happen. And I'll canvass the board because Member Parks and Member Halpern isn't here. So I'll make sure I canvass everybody to make sure we have everyone.
Okay, is there anything anyone else would like to add to regarding meeting dates or anything? Okay. Item 10, announcements. Planning, there's a planning board meeting, January 9th, 2020 at 9:30 a.m. Financial advisory board meeting, January 16th, 2020 at 3 p.m. Town hall is closed in observance of Martin Luther King Day on January 20th, 2020. Town Commission regular meeting on January 21st, 2020 at 1:30 p.m. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned at 11:47 a.m.
That's yours.
Okay.
Thank you for a very good meeting. Got a lot accomplished.
Here's your toothbrush back now.
And everybody touched it?
I didn't touch it.
No, it's okay.
I really like it though. I think that's a great
I
idea.
mean, I'll look. I said
I
I
mean,
would look
maybe
and see
if we
there's,
get
like,
them
prices.
not in the box and they're just wrapped in cellophane, it would be cheaper.
Cellophane is,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
that's why they do
Okay,
that.
I do like, the box is nice. Yeah, yeah.
If there were,
I
if there were
hope
not
that she,
cheap.
yeah.
I mean, it's worth it, that's good.
Well, how much did you pay for it?
I probably got one of the very expensive maybe ones.
But so,
I
about,
think it was like 11.
oh, man. Oh, for four.
Yeah, for like,
Okay,
it
but
might
if
be
we
six.
got
It
100
might
of
even
them,
be
okay,
six.
that's not a lot.
No, it's not that bad.
That's nothing.
Not,
Well, we
I
can
was
afford
like,
that.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
no.
it'll poke your eyeball
Yes,
out.
no, I think that would be
Right?
fine. Everybody needs an extra toothbrush. Okay.
I was like, oh no, because it, like, I was getting frustrated, and I went like this, and I was like, oh.
Have a good day.
Yes. Bye, your hair looks great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, my dear. Good job. Happy New Year.
Do I sign it, or do I put the date or the calendar? Maybe it's the type of pen, like they just use, Oh, no, but you have a different one. No, it's just you. It's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, I was trying my hardest.
Trying to be very
Right. But I think with town staff, this is great. I've worked with many different advisory boards and I've been in municipal planning for 15 years. So I know people have great ideas, but they don't always know how to kind of hone them in, like the threats. We have that list, but what about those threats? What do you want to do about those threats? You want to do outreach, you want to do, website links, what do you want to do? Right, yeah, exactly. It's always appropriate to table it, but I think people have the ideas, but they don't always know how to bring it out to the public, if that's the intent. So,
A wealth of knowledge in the pharmaceutical field, so it's just, it had to be him.
So I think, like I said, I'm hopefully I can steer you guys a little bit, maybe get you a little bit, not so broad-based, but delve deeper into those
Does it help
ideas.
us get more things done?
Yeah, I understand.
Help our,
Right, and you've already accomplished so much with the spring clean, you have some real detail, some real nuance.
yeah, it's better than
So,
last year.
right, so I think you'll be able to achieve the same with the threats and all that, kind of, give it a little bit more nuance, a little bit more detail, and a little bit more focus. Appreciate your passion.
Look forward to working with you.
Yeah, I definitely don't like the names.
Well, thank you, you don't need anything else.
I'm gonna have to sign to fix the correction of the name.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to work on more than 3 feet.
Oh, okay, but, sorry, I'm just gonna pick up my stuff.
Well, that's the name of the house, Island Beach.
Well, I thank you for helping me stay organized, it's just hard
Anything I
sometimes.
can do to help you?
Yeah, no, it was good, it was just like, it was in my head and I was trying to, but it's like, sometimes it's like any help to stay organized. Organization is good. As you see, I save everything.
One thing I wanted to show you, my background is marketing, communication, that kind of thing. And you have a 6-foot table. You have to be careful not to try to do too much limited space.
Right.
If you can focus on kind of like less is best, because people will then walk away with whatever your message is. If you have too many different things going on,
We have those,
it'll complicate
we have those, whatever, the
the
poles. The bags aren't really gonna be like too much of a distraction, because we could put those under the table and hand them out. You know what I mean? Like, to clear the table space out, but I know that, people wanna display, but it's not like a big display, it'll be like this much trash, or the box, they said they're gonna use a box, that's like,
You're gonna have garbage, leftover.
no, that's the box. That's what I think,
If you wanna do that, then you might be best to set up a clear plexiglass box.
Oh, that's a good idea, plastic box. Yeah, but plastic.
The other thing,
That's the thing, is the environmental aspect, I don't wanna use a plastic box.
what is the singular message you're trying to get across?
More environment conscious about the environment and what we're putting into it and what we're doing to get what we've already damaged out of it. Yeah.
Is that, if somebody was gonna walk away with one thought, is the thought alternatives? If that was like, you said, if I can only get them to think about one thing
I
when
think
they
so.
leave here,
I
is
think that's what
alternatives.
because we're putting that in the letter, the town manager letter, is that the alternative and the web page.
So we're gonna drive home alternatives, if that's it, maybe that's the big sign, alternatives. You know, it's just, it's like, you don't get to keep their attention very long.
You're not gonna
There's
get-
lots of other things going on around you.
What all did we have? We had
It's just hard because
but alternatives, the toothbrushes, that's on the line of alternatives.
that's an
The
alternative.
bags are alternative, it's all alternative.
It's all
Flyers.
alternatives.
Yeah,
Look, a webpage is an incompetent way of reaching people.
why?
Because it faces the wrong way. You have to go to the webpage in order to see it. That is an effort on your part. Facebook is in your face. That's what Facebook means, in your face. Your phone buzzes, it says important thing from Sue Smith.
Emailing though, like the town manager
And the
letter.
town email is the worst list you ever saw. It's got about 500 people on it. And the reason.
Forgive me for your interruption. We're talking about the booth right now on the table.
Right.
So let us stay on that for a second, okay?
People do come there.
All I'm suggesting is that you think it through. The people that are coming, who's the customer? Is it the kids? Is it mom and dad? You can't do everything for everybody.
Oh, the trees aren't, the trees.
The trees are
that's
kind of
not
a cool thing, and it's like impossible to say no to trees. So I'm with you on the trees.
Okay, so the majority is alternatives, and then we have a few giveaways, like, you
The
know, the trees
giveaways
they
don't
can.
sell. Give people a bad.
The giveaways are a nice thing, it attracts people, and keeps
Get a
people there.
toothbrush,
But if you can
everything's controversial.
say,
I like the awareness, I like the, did you see it? Did you open it? Look, you gotta see it, you might wanna like do something.
Who is elected to?
Oh, okay, well, that's not
This
bad,
office.
that's not bad.
if you can keep them focused, tight, limited time period, and they can walk away with one thought, you hit a
Okay, I'll keep
knows
that in
it's
mind.
that's all.
Yeah, for sure, I'll keep that in mind.
Here's the problem with the town website, with the town.
Alternatives, that's a good sign to have, but then I'm putting a whole nother sign up.
The last thing is,
Yeah, then you can show solidarity.
when people are standing in front of you,
We'll just communicate.
they're blocking that sign.
I'll let you know when it says. Put it up. They have the
Put it up
tent,
back.
they have the tent, you know.
No, but anytime there's people are in front of your table, they can't, nobody will read the sign, it's suspended from your
Right,
table.
right.
So you get her to suspend it from active view.
Yeah, see, it's hard, because it's like, I don't, these are suggestions I'll think, you know, we can think about it.
Stuff for you to think about.
Hard to get located, thanks to.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
See how he wants to move forward.
All right, Doug, send me a bio and I'll look for that.
Okay, don't have the pictures, sure. Or I can just take a selfie. What do you do with this?
I put their name.
No, not put that, because it's.
Oh, planning board.
Got planning, but.
YouTube was down on your computer. She said it has 3 backups. So she said it was recording on something else and the feed was showing to the public. So I don't know where the storage feed is for that meeting. Because Granicus was down.
Yeah, she's